At the empire's fringe, a woman and a man traveled by night over oceans of sand. The woman, quite pregnant, rode her soul, beasts of burden, her time near at hand. Her child's fates uncertain. Crossing over from Guatemala to Mexico is more dangerous than crossing over to the U.S. Because right here, they shoot at you. But you have to be twice as lucky to make it across the desert, and you pray to God. You pray to God that you cross alive. No one leaves home unless home is the mouth of a shark. You only run for the border when you see the whole city running as well. Illegal immigrants, they're coming to America to have babies. Okay, we all know the dangers of these anchor babies. Being an illegal immigrant, having a baby on U.S. soil, making them U.S. citizens. I will make America great again. By having a massive deportation force, we will do it humanely, but we will do it. Excuse me, Mr. Trump. What about children born from undocumented parents? No, you mean the anchor babies. Our children are not anchors. They do not fall. The Washington Post of September 6, 2016 explains the myth of the anchor baby, or child born from an undocumented parent in efforts to gain citizenship, has permeated and stigmatized Latino cultures for decades. The myth is just that, a fabrication of reality. Al Jazeera writers Brian Root and Clara Long lament, beyond its humanizing consequences, the myth of the anchor baby perpetuates the mistaken notion that having a child born in the United States is an effective means for undocumented parents to stay. The fact is, having a child who is a U.S. citizen is rarely a factor in immigration decisions, and instead, routinely rips families apart. Given the New York Times of November 1st, 2016, conservative leaders such as Jeb Bush and President Donald Trump have targeted anchor babies as leading threat to U.S.'s border control. It is crucial to re-examine this myth. With the drama Anchor Baby by Michael Berry, a disgusting attack on the 14th Amendment by Carlos Batara, and Crossing by Jorge de Leon, the poetry Home by Worcestershire, Anchor Baby by Jonathan McClung, and Our Children Are Not Anchors by Susana de Jesus Huerta, the prose Growing Up Without Parents by Winter Kimball, and articles from the Washington Post and New York Times. Author Perez Onde no haga Sotelo, please. Immigrant women who come to America do not expect or even think about having babies. It's just a part of life. A program. Because my mother has never seen me as merely an anchor. Anchor babies. What? All right. Anchor babies. All right, stop. Have an anchor baby. This epidemic is spreading like rabies. Now we need to close the borders tightly. Illegals coming in here daily or nightly. Will they ever stop? Liberals say no. Liberals say no. But we got Arizona trying to stop the flow. I was watching Pokemon that day, and Pikachu went all Pika to Ash and Misty. And the phone rang, and my mom, she started to cry. And my aunt was there, and she said, "Tell him, you have to tell him." And I looked to my mom with confusion. She said, Wayner, your papa's going to get deported. They saw a light. At a distance, the couple was fearful. Besides, what's their best chance? An abandoned building on the outskirts of the spread. Illegal immigrants, they're coming to America to have babies. You mean the anchor babies? That's an offensive term, Mr. Trump, is it? No, you mean it's not politically correct. What would you like me to say then? Tell me, what would you like me to say? Nothing is sacred in the world of politics. The anchor baby argument rests on the central idea that our children, born from undocumented parents, are entitled to U.S. citizenship, therefore serving as an anchor to their family. That argument, however, does not reflect reality. No one leaves home unless home chases you. You know, even if they do send me back home, even if they do send me back home, they're going to send me back to corruption and violence. No. Señor, me dispararon, por favor, no dispares. Señor, por favor, no dispares. Me dispararon, Señor. My mother said, Wayner, your papa's going to get deported. You know, at that age, I didn't know what deported meant. She explained everything. She said that her and my dad are undocumented and that I was a U.S. citizen. She then said that she was going to go back home with my dad to Ecuador. And she asked me if I wanted to go or to stay. As a 5-year-old boy, that was the hardest decision of my life. You have to understand, no one puts their life on a boat unless the water is safer than the land. No one wants to crawl under fences. No one wants to be beaten. No one wants to spend days and nights in the stomach of a truck feeding on newspapers unless the miles traveled mean something more than this journey. So stop calling them anchor babies. What would you like me to call them? Call them children of undocumented parents, Mr. Trump. Is that what you want me to say? Because it's politically correct. Well, I'm going to call them anchor babies. Excuse me, get him out of here. Get him out of here, thank you. I'm going to call them anchor babies. Our children are not anchors. They do not keep us on these furrowed fields with backs of summer heat, the way threats to hire another force us to stay even without running water or even without a paycheck. Our children are not anchors. They bloom. They unfurl like lavender flowers and protest signs under the desert sun. Even as seedling, they grow beyond the rubble of bones, poisonous policies that sever families with barbed wire borders. Our children are not anchors. They are the pulsating sky that sings thunder and bleeds to break forth and burst open like monarch clouds returning home. Our children are not anchors because even after 2 generations of living here, my family will still get deported. Our children are not anchors. They do not keep us here. Ever since my mom has left, I cry less now. I live with my aunt. Sleep in the living room. You know, there is a major problem in this country when it wants to just separate families so abruptly. No, they think they're solving a problem by sending them all away. For this 1 second, just put yourself in my shoes.
this was your family.